talking CSR, or corporate social responsibility, and why it's so important, not only for you, but for me. Next on Village in Motion. Welcome to a TGIF. We made it Green Spring. It is Friday, March 9th. March keeps on rolling in like a lion, not like a lamb. Anyway, I am thrilled to be your host, Diane Gatsis Havinga. I'm the Community Television and AV Manager, but more importantly, I'm your host for Village in Motion on this Friday. And the topic we're going to be talking about today is really close to my heart. It's one of the reasons why I think I could say I'm still here. And that is corporate social responsibility with my good friend and buddy and fellow CSR person, Kimberly Nelson.
Good morning.
Our philanthropy director. And I know people are saying, CSR, okay, she said it was corporate social responsibility. Yeah. Why should I care? Why do we talk about it? I'm throwing it to you.
Great. Well, thanks. Glad to be here. Yes, a lot of times you say, Kimberly's on, she must be talking about money. Well, that's not really what we're talking about today, but we are talking about things related to our mission. Corporate social responsibility has to do with what are we doing to do good and help others. And so, yes, we think of doing good with our Scholars Fund and doing good helping our neighbors with benevolent care, but really our outreach at Green Spring goes much farther than that in many different ways. And I know the second half of this segment we're going to talk about ECHO and an upcoming food drive and what is ECHO, because that is one of our corporate social responsibility partners. But residents may not realize that the Treasure Chest also partners with ECHO. So when you give charitable donations to Treasure Chest, and those treasures, we try to sell them in the store, and for whatever reason they don't sell, or we just don't have enough room, which does happen, then those items are boxed and we take them to ECHO, and they are then repurposed for ECHO. And so things aren't thrown in the garbage, and it's part of, again, helping the neighbor, helping our community. Another thing that you may think of with sort of our outreach of helping others is the blood drive, which also is very near and dear to your heart. And Green Spring has been a huge supporter, really thanks to your partnership with residents and staff and sort of getting behind that. And I see the next one is coming up in May and October, so mark your calendars. But those, again, are partnerships where we are giving back out to the community. Other things that residents might think of is maybe our turkey trot, which I know is through the fitness center. And yes, the fitness center orchestrates that, just like you really help orchestrate the blood drive and the ECHO food drives. But the turkey trot is another example of outreach where we're raising monies or dollars that help organizations related to food and hunger around the Thanksgiving time frame.
And this falls into our Green Spring designation as a nonprofit, a 503c.
501c3, yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so as a 501c3, we are always looking at our community impact, not only within our gates, but also outside our gates. And so those are some examples of things that we do. But residents may also think of things like the Senior Olympics and the Wii Bowling. Not only do we host the Wii Bowling here as a site location, which is not charged for them, it's not an expense or a cost, we freely host it, but we also help give a financial contribution for Senior Olympics for that organization to help be a sponsor.
And this is coming through the corporate function. It's not, we're not asking Green Spring residents, they don't take money out of the monthly maintenance fee and put money aside to pay for these.
Yeah, Green Spring doesn't have to the residents don't have to write a check for it. It's something that's built in through administration and operations, and Chandra sort of helps okay those things. It's how are we helping with our community impact. Another area that we also have impact that residents may not be aware of is through some of our local high schools. So we obviously have a lot of students in our dining rooms who help serve, but we also give back to our high schools. So the ones that are closest to us, we help with maybe the football booster program. We may help with, at Lake Braddock, we're going to start helping with their basketball athletic program. For some of the schools, we might help with the all-night grad party so that the seniors have a safe celebration at graduation time. And so again, those could be dollars, it could be where staff maybe are helping volunteer with something, but it's all part of that partnership of how are we good stewards, good neighbors of the community, and how are we not just helping our residents and neighbors at the community and our staff, such as the scholarship program, but also our neighbors outside our gates.
So let's talk a moment about why it's so important for someone, say, like myself, as a staff person, to be connected with a company that has embraced corporate social responsibility.
Yeah, so that is really very exciting that Greenspring and Erickson Living is really a firm believer in that. And so even as an employee, there's a matching gift benefit. There are volunteer opportunities. And so these are things as an employee that Erickson Living fully supports, and maybe other companies maybe do or do not, or do at a lesser level. So Greenspring and Erickson Living really value that partnership with the community, with our outreach partners. And so we want to have engaged employees that are involved in the community, whether it's giving your time or giving your dollars. And so that is sort of another way of thinking of it when you think of our mission, where we're helping in different ways. Gifts of time,
I know,
gifts of
having
money.
just hired a new staff person, that as we went through the potential job candidates, a lot of people were asking or saying, you know, I really want, I'm looking for another job because, you know, my company isn't necessarily there in terms of corporate social responsibility, or I want to be involved in a place that does give to the community. So it's a plus in that aspect too.
Yes, and I would say residents and staff probably all would collectively say a resounding yes, that Greenspring isn't just a silo in an island just doing our thing. We really have tentacles that go out so far, especially when you think of our volunteer outreach. You know, we have tutors in the schools, we have faith groups doing international outreach. It really goes so broader that we may not have always thought about it in those terms. But when you look at it collectively, we go, wow, we really have a nice community impact. Is there always more to do? Of course. But we're always looking for things to do, and what are the right partnerships that we can sort of get behind. We think of the Alzheimer's Walk that we do every year. So not only do residents and staff go to the walk, but we also help sponsor the walk to raise money for Alzheimer's research and awareness. And we have a memory care unit, we have an intermissions program. So we really see firsthand how important that research is. So Greenspring really does try to figure out what are those strategic partnerships, and then ways that staff can leverage their benefits through matching gifts and gifts of time as well. So it really is a great thing. We're really excited. Greenspring is always very active in many things, but I don't know that residents thought about the blood drive, the food drive, the turkey trot, treasure chest donations to ECHO, oh, the Alzheimer's Walk. Oh, I didn't know we did all these things at the high schools to really help promote our young people. So when you start putting it all together, you think, wow, that's pretty cool.
And I know you have had the same experience. When I'm out in the community, not as a, quote, Green Spring employee, but I meet various people. You know, if it could be talking to our lead district supervisor, Jeff McKay, or you know, could be I'm on the baseball team meeting a new team member and I mention, well, yeah, I work at Green Spring. People immediately connect us. Not so much that we're a retirement community, but, oh, yeah, I know that you have done things in our community to help others.
Yes, and that's really so nice. I mean, we do things with the fire department every year. So residents may not know that the dining team cooks meals at holiday time that we take to the fire department and the police station. We've done financial gifts that have helped the fire department purchase a new stove, new exercise equipment, like things they've needed, so that those who are doing the good work and coming to Green Spring so often can sort of help make their day also a little easier to do good work that also helps us. So we give back in many different ways, and I just wanted residents to know that, to celebrate it. And as we're coming up with the food drive that you're going to hear more about in the next segment, if you can get behind it in whatever way works for you, I know they'll appreciate it. And Bob and Hank are going to talk about that, so I don't want to steal their thunder. But we just really appreciate the community getting behind many of these projects that you may not have realized are part of our corporate social responsibility and our community impact. But I just want to say thank you on behalf of the community and those organizations, because your impact in many different ways has an impact in so many others. So we appreciate that.
And before I let you go, one thing that I think is, at least again, dear to my heart is, you know, you see things happening on a global stage. And sometimes, you know, and we all get bombarded with give here, give there, do this, do that. And I'm like, but, you know, I like my money or my time to stay locally. You know, I want to help the neighbor who's really right next door to me versus someone that's far across the sea. Not that that's not important, but to me, I think it's kind of like a bigger bang for the buck, or a bigger bang for the minute that I'm spending making that sandwich for you know, a child who isn't going to have food over the weekend unless we feed them. So to me, I think that also increases that impact and that kind of, you know, why do you do it? You know, well, you know, when I give blood, I feel good afterwards. You know, I've just helped 3 people.
That's why you're going to live a long, healthy, happy life.
Well, maybe.
That's what they say.
All right, so Kimberly.
Anyway,
what do you want to leave us with?
I just want to leave with a big thank you to the residents who really have done so much. Maybe they didn't realize they were doing it, but they really are doing so much by all the little things that do happen together. And we just hope you'll keep getting behind those things. So keep those donations coming to Treasure Chest and keep giving blood. And let's fill up those shopping carts next week. And everyone have a great day. So thank you.
Well, thank you.